Now, I'd like to tell y'all about a few famous friends of mine who made music in a town called Bremen, and their story goes like this. Out on the Lüneburger Heide, not far from Bremen, a plot of land once held a farm, and on that farm a donkey resided, seemingly as normal as a donkey could be. Unfortunately, the donkey was saddened, for many regarded him as having outlived his usefulness. In the days of old, he used to carry sacks of corn to turn the windmill, but now it was the 1990s, and donkeys and windmills were old hat. The farm's owner, desperate for some form of income, had the idea to turn the fields around his windmill into a theme park, where the main draw was the poor old donkey himself. People travelled near and far to see him, if only to laugh at his silly voice. Ha ha ha! Such a dumb donkey, people would always say. And, with the rise of consumer digital cameras, the donkey would be forced to sit there all day and say, "Eeyaw, eeyaw, eeyaw," all for a silly photo op. At first, it wasn't so bad, but eventually, the donkey got fed up. "I'm a donkey, not an exhibitionist," he said. But that wouldn't stop the constant laughing and picture-taking. He didn't intend to be mean to the park-goers, only that this wasn't how he wanted to spend the rest of his life. One beautiful summer's day, the donkey noticed 5 tour buses, count 'em, 5, pull up to the park, loaded with American and British tourists. Each one of them had a camera, and they had gathered to hear the donkey do his usual routine. While the tourists were preoccupied, the donkey fled the park entirely. He ran, he ran, he ran, until the farm's windmill was completely out of sight. He didn't care where he was going, as long as it wasn't, there. Once the donkey had caught his breath, he decided to ponder on what to do next. How would he live out the rest of his days?
Finally, I'm free to do whatever I may choose, and eat whatever I want to. But you gotta work to eat. What should I do for a living? I like music. Hey, the music business! My voice has always been the strongest asset, after all. And from there, I'll be on easy street. And who knows, maybe I'll become a singing sensation. Bremen's the nearest city. Maybe I should practice first.
The life that I've been living has really been a bore. They point to jeer and laugh at me until my throat is sore. I'm posing for those cameras, that just isn't my thing. I'll be more than what they think, just listen to me sing. My life is in my hands now, this is my new career. I'm entering the wilderness, I have nothing to fear. Perhaps a job of writing songs in Bremen could be fun. My voice is more than brain, you'll see that when I'm done.
Hey, that wasn't too bad. Just a little fine-tuning and I'll be ready to hit the charts. Now, onwards to Bremen.
On his way, the donkey came across another farm. And on this farm, there was total silence. No animals, no tractor engines, just complete and utter silence.
Woof woof, what are you doing here? Are you lost or something?
I'm the least lost I've been my whole life. But what happened here? This farm is pretty quiet.
A farm? Sorry, pal. That's in the past now. This place is now faculty belonging to the University of Bremen. I'm all that's left.
So, I guess you're pretty down on your luck. Like this place isn't right for you?
On the nose. How'd you know?
You and I have been victims of the same system, my friend. What was your life like before all this?
The dog began to tell his story. In my old life, I was a mean watchdog, feared through the neighborhood. But when my old owner passed on, the local uni got its hands on the land. Now I'm without a purpose. Did you enjoy your old days in the security business? Asked the donkey. Oh yeah, you should have seen me back then. I was a natural. The pay was pretty good too, if you can call treats and pets pay. And there was this trick I loved doing. It was pretty ingenious if I do say so myself. I used to hide behind a fence, wait till people got out of their cars, and then... Roar! That scared them off pretty good. But that was a long time ago. Now, as a stray, they'd haul me off to the pound if they caught me doing that. Never mind that this place is the soul of a pound anyway. A dog pound? Asked the donkey. Gee, sounds rough. Perhaps you could accompany me on my way to Bremen. I'm hoping to be a musician, but right now I'm solo. You should come with. The dog enthusiastically accepted, so they decided that they practiced together the next day.
Alright then, how's your pitch and tone? Excellent! Let's practice!
Chasing away some strangers and keeping the general peace. Getting some bones from master, my life was all at ease. But now those days are long gone and lingering in the past. I guess all I can do now is make my last days last. So off to Bremen I'll be, we'll sing until the dawn. No teachers out to bug me from that life I've been drawn. And if we earn a little gold to help us on our way, then that's cool too, but really the music is my pay.
Dang, we sound pretty great together.
Ooh, I haven't had a rush like that since my days on the beat.
Come along, Bremen awaits.
There was still a long road ahead, and the two stomachs started to growl. Eventually, the dog spotted something. Hey! Look, hay! And where there was hay, there had to be a farm. And if there was a farm, there had to be food. It seemed being 2 years out of commission hadn't deterred the dog's powerful sense of smell in the slightest. When they arrived, they spotted something rather peculiar on top of the hay.
Is that a rooster up there? Why is his beak all taped up?
How could anyone do something so cruel? We have feelings too.
While the dog continued to gripe about animal rights, the donkey quickly removed the tape from the rooster's beak.
Oh man, thanks pal, I would have suffocated if I stayed another hour like that.
What did you do to warrant that sort of thing?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Then, how did...
Well, it's kind of painful, but here goes.
And the rooster began his own tale of woe. One day, a businessman had arrived from the big city at the rooster's farm. He asked the farmer if he could buy the barn round the back, because he wanted to turn it into a vacation home out in the countryside. Since the barn was dilapidated and unused anyway, the farmer agreed. The next day, construction began. The once peaceful farm became plagued with the sounds of jackhammers and truck engines, which, to the rooster, made every single day almost unbearable. The first night after completion, the businessman approached the farmer to complain about the rooster's incessant crowing. The farmer had angrily responded that he should have expected that from the countryside, and if he didn't like it, he should have built the house elsewhere. As the rooster had no say in the matter, his beak was unfairly taped up. He was absolutely miserable.
Grrr, that's terrible. Where's that businessman? I'd love to rip his clothes to shreds. Grrr.
I'd give him a good hoof to the face.
Guys, don't! My owner will lose even more money than he has now. I'm just a nuisance to everyone, but I've nowhere to go.
Well, perhaps we can turn your luck around.
How'd you like to join our group?
Really? What do you do?
We're up-and-coming musicians traveling to Bremen.
Right now, we're a duo, but you could make us a trio.
Musicians? You make money from your work?
Not yet, but that's one of the things we hope to achieve when we reach our goal.
Oh, sweet, sign me up, and quickly.
Good, but first we gotta hear how your voice sounds in a group. We're ready whenever you are.
Alright.
The rooster started to prepare his voice, his heart soaring at the idea of fame. The next morning, the duo, soon-to-be trio, woke up to the sound of the rooster beginning to perform.
Looks like he's ready.
Way back in my heyday, I'd cock-a-doodle-doo. But that nasty businessman has given me the blues. With limits on my singing, I've wallowed in despair. All that will change as soon as I've left this whole nightmare. Bremen is our journey, freedom is our goal. Growing is my livelihood and singing is my soul. On this new path we forge here, no one will talk us down. They'll look at us with reverence when we hit the town.
We'll be invincible with that kind of talent.
Gee, I really hope the general public likes us.
No time to wait.
Once more, the ever-growing party continued their journey. As night fell, they started looking for places to sleep. They came across a poster. "Can anyone read?" asked the donkey. Finally, all that time spent around teachers has paid off, the dog thought. "A campsite! Just what we've been looking for," said the donkey. "Here we can get a bite to eat and some rest." Just before they arrived at the campsite, they came across a small white kitten.
Can't stand this racket. I came to see musician Cats of the Berlin Philharmonic Orchestra.
What's the matter, young cat?
This noise is terribly unbearable. Everyone brought their portable TVs and radio players. All these different genres are being played, all at the same time. Heavy classic, techno. It's a cacophony.
Don't you mean
A catwalk?
You can joke around and laugh all you want, but music actually means something to me. No one else seems to understand.
Sorry about that. We know exactly how you feel.
That's right.
Really? You can't stand this either?
We're musicians, and we're on the road to Bremen.
A trio. Us three.
Hopefully, once we get there, we'll be a short hop away from stardom.
With your help, we can grow into a quartet.
Well, young'un, want to join us?
Join you? Wow. I'd love nothing more than to be a real musician. Every day I'm haunted by ignorance of art. These people don't know music, or if it's wondrous art. But me, I know better, so I shall take a stand. I'll join your group so we'll be the best ones in the land.
Rhythms of my choosing is what I desire. Melodies so pleasing that they'll set your soul on fire. One day it'll be my songs on your radio. So watch out, well, here I come and here I'm gonna go. And so, the new quartet sang and played deep into the night. The majority of the music they performed was improv, as they hadn't decided on which genre was their forte. They still caught the attention of passers-by, though, who tossed a couple of pfennigs their way every now and then. Then the mellifluous voices travelled as far as even the campsite, although most paid no attention, as they assumed it was simply a neighbour's radio. However, a man and a woman heard their singing and were amazed. "Listen," said the woman. "I've never heard this music before." "It's pretty dang good," said the man. "Well, that I can agree on at least," said the woman. So, the man started clapping, singing their praises. The animals were delighted to know someone liked their music, as it meant that they could take their show on the road without fear.
I suppose we need some kind of backing. How do you plan to distribute our songs to the masses?
Well, you see, that's the best part. We'll put your songs on an album, and soon it'll be heard on the radio.
Wait, you're serious? We could all be on actual TV?
Definitely. We're acquainted with Radio Bremen, Dazaris. You four can be media sensations.
Jackpot! Count me in!
Hold your horses, fellas. First we gotta draw up the contract.
Oh yeah, all good musicians enter those things, don't they?
Okay, time to get our business on.
The man took out his clipboard and scribbled out a contract. "Okay," he said. "Please sign here." The cat took his pen and prepared to sign. But the dog said, "Hey, I'm not going to go into this without reading the terms and conditions." "Oh," they looked shocked. We thought that 'cause you were animals, you couldn't read." "Some can," the dog said, scathing.
Hey, what's this here about us only getting 10% of the profits?
10%? Then who's getting the other 90%?
We are. That's just how it is.
10? 90? Ugh, I've never been good with numbers.
Basically, it means that if one of our records sells for 20 marks, we get 2 marks and they get 18 marks.
What? Justice! We're the composers. We should be getting more of the profit.
Yeah, who do you guys think you are?
There's more. It says here that the lyrics and the music can be modified according to the producer's liking. That is, if the composers agree.
Hey, we're not gonna have our music changed.
We want to broadcast our songs, not yours.
Totally, and for only 2 marks? What do you take us for, jackasses?
Grr. Yeah, you can take this contract and get paper cuts from it.
And we shall make the record ourselves.
How were they to make a record all by themselves? None of them had the business or technical know-how to do such a thing. As they headed away from the campsite area, they pondered this dilemma. You know, said the dog, they were right about one thing, the cost of making a record, especially the prices of sound studio rentals. I think it's best if we just sleep on it for now. But we haven't had a bite to eat yet, said the cat. She does have a point, you know, said the donkey. And suddenly, the dog said, Wait! I can smell food! Hot dogs! Hamburgers! They then came across a small cottage.
Looks pretty cozy. I wonder if anybody lives here.
Go and look through that window. You're the tallest of us.
The donkey took a peek through the window.
What's in there?
This house is being burgled!
Let me see.
Said the cat, hopping onto the donkey's back.
My goodness, you're right. There are bank robbers in this house. We are watching an actual robbery.
What have they stolen?
A whole bunch of money. At least 100,000 marks.
Yikes!
Man, that would cover all of our costs.
Yeah, if we had that sort of cash, we wouldn't even need to rent a studio. We could just build one. Hey,
The 4 looked at each other devilishly.
ready?
Let's do it.
Right.
The dog jumped on the donkey, the cat onto the dog, and the rooster flew up onto the cat.
Now!
Oh, kitty litter! It's the fuzz! Yelled the thieves. They sped out of the house and down the street. The musicians were happy to have foiled the thievery, especially as they had no idea how effective their trick would be on the robbers. Next, they decided to count the money. There were more than just 100,000 marks. In fact, the full amount was double that. The next day, the donkey loaded the chest with the money on his back, and they headed for Bremen. While there, they bought all the necessities for making a record. Microphones, mixers, equipment, padded walls, the whole shebang.
This house will make the perfect recording studio, and it's close to Bremen.
We don't need any silly producers. What we say, we do.
We're gonna make our own music, and no one can change that.
And we'll call ourselves the Bremen Town Musicians!
The
Bremen
Town
Town
Musicians.
Musicians, yeah,
We rock!
Okay, are we ready to start rehearsing?
And rehearse they did. They rehearsed so much that the end result was pretty much perfect. They continue to make music in Bremen to this day. I've even heard they've gone platinum. Perhaps you should give them a listen too.
Our destinies of music.
Our talents all combined.
We're extremely lucky, so towards the stars aligned.
And though the path is long and fraught with roadblocks everywhere,
The results are here for you to hear and for us all to share. No matter where your home is or what your past may hold, music's the ties that bind us like the strongest sword of gold. Our story may have ended, but yours has just begun. Create some music, share some joy, and we'll still have fun.